is up, Wizards? Mooner here. Today I'm bringing you guys a Oldhim gameplay video. Let's get into it. I think, if I remember correctly, he elected to go first, which is always the correct play. His equipment looks pretty standard. He's got AB2 and Crown, but he does have Titan's Fist and and Stalagmite, which he's probably expecting Bowlander, which is good for us. But let's get into the game. So yeah, turn one I draw into a Hex, an E-Pot, Red Weather Vane, and a Frosting. So whatever he throws at me, I'm just looking to block out everything except for the Hex and the E-Pot, obviously. So I'm going to take 2 damage here. No threat of a pummel, so we're good. So I draw into a Chill, a yellow Ice Vein. So what I'm looking to do is just put this either this Chill or this Hex on him. So yeah, I'm gonna put the Hex on him, pitching everything, and Waning Mooning and getting this Chill into Arsenal. I could have done it either way. I could have put the Chill on him and put the Hex into Arsenal. It's not like I'm going to get any extra damage off of him by playing the Hex out and getting the... So either way, it doesn't really matter which one gets played and which one goes in Arsenal. He crowns here in response. AB's the Moon, which is fine. And he's going to swing Titan's Fist, which I'm not sure why that's all he does. Maybe he's just going to try to fatigue me out. But I draw into a 3 red hand. And so what I like to do is just block out with a bunch of stuff here and put this red Ice Vein into Arsenal and hopefully draw into a Weather Vein. Really start punishing him. So I'm just going to pass turn here, put a red Weather Vein, or red Ice Vein, sorry, into Arsenal. He doesn't do anything, and yes, I do. I draw into 3 blues and a yellow Weather Vane, and he just continues to swing Sledge. I think he's just going to try to grind me down and wait till he draws into like some power stuff and a pummel. But I like to take that damage because I think what I'm trying to do is get this. I want to get this Ice Eternal into Arsenal and try to punish him a little bit more, which is why I took some damage there. Yep. I'm willing to take 4 from his hammer any day. There's no really on hits on that. It's just 4 damage. But here I get to strip 2 cards from his hand with he crowns in response to Moon, which is fine. Which is why I always like to front pump the Moon. So he can crown, and then that'll soak up the damage. He only has AB3, so AB2 and crown, so he is going to take a chunk of damage from this Weather Vane, Ice Vein. I'm sorry. So the Weather Vane resolves after the Insidious Chill resolves, and he's AB's some of it and discards a card, which is super awesome for us. And I get to put this Ice Eternal into Arsenal and just repeat. But here I am left with I draw into a Expose the Elements, and this is where I choose to hopefully expose his crown. So I'm gonna pitch there and fuse, strip this last card from his hand, get to expose his crown and deal him some damage. Yep, get rid of crown, and then hopefully I don't remember what I should pitch this in case to Waning Moon here. I should Waning Moon, but I didn't, and then I could have Coronet peaked him, but instead I choose to, yeah, that was a misplay by me. I should have pitched in case last turn and Waning Moon. I could have dealt him 3 extra damage there. He only had 1 resource to AB. Instead, I do misplay there. It's good to watch this back and see. So he decides to hit me with the CNC. There's no threat of a pummel here. He doesn't have Tunic up, and he only has one resource left over. So I think and I don't have an ice card here, so I should just block this out. So I think I realized this a little too late, that I don't have an ice card to fuse this. So all I can really do is just create frostbites, but I realized that a little too late. So instead what I do is he can't pummel me, so I'm just going to block this out with the blue ice bind and encase. And then what I'm going to do is get an E-pot down next turn and pitch this Expose the Elements to Waning Moon, since Expose has pretty much done its job. I don't need it anymore. Running 3, it is a little bit of a liability after you get the first one off and expose the crown. I mean, you can get rid of some of his AB, but he only has AB2, so it's really not that much of a threat. So just it can become a liability because it is a no block, and having that and E-pot in the deck, I am still running 4 additional no blocks. I do put an E-pot down, so here on this turn he hits me with an unfused Eternal Winter, or Endless Winter, sorry. And here I draw into a red Weather Vane, a yellow, and 2 blues, one of them being a chill. So I choose to take all the damage from the Expose the Elements, and I do get tripped up by this 1 frostbite here. Because I took that damage, I do get 1 frostbite, and it kind of like throws all of my math off here. So I think I ended up misplaying this turn. The end result is the same, but I think I could have... I'm like so confused by this 1 frostbite, it's not even funny. But I do play a red Weather Vane. I ended up getting some resources from Energy Potion and pumping... this is silly. So all I can do is pump 4 into it, which is going to create 6 frostbites. It's going to strip a card using my last chill counter, which is fine. I'm going to deal him some damage and get to put another Insidious Chill in the arsenal. So this is where the tempo really starts to swing back into my favor. And yeah, I draw into a Freezing Point, a yellow and a blue Weather Vane, and a Channel Lake Frigid. And he's going to try to swing his hammer, but he can't afford to. So I do get to just pitch this Channel Lake Frigid to that Waning Moon him. Then my next play is going to be hit him with Coronet Peak with this blue Weather Vane and put this Freezing Point in the arsenal and hope I don't get CNC pummeled, which I've already seen 1 CNC, but I haven't seen any pummels yet. So he's going to take some damage from that. I do get to take a card from his hand and put this in the... Yeah, and so here we draw into a nice all blue hand, a full blue hand, but I do have another Hex, so I get to put another Hex on him, and he hits me with another Endless Winter, of course. It's not fused, there's no threat of a pummel. I do have to read it this time to be like, well, when do I get the Frostbites? I don't remember. So I just choose to block out 5 and put this Hex on him next turn. Do take 3 damage from this, and I throw Crown in front of it too, just to save a little bit of life. I've already used Crown 2 or 3 times this turn, so it's kind of done its job. Get a little bit of a life gain back from it. Get a little life gain from the heart, and here I draw into something I just don't want to see. 3 reds and a Winter's Bite. So I'm looking to just probably get pummeled here. Here comes the pummel. I know it's an arsenal. He's been sitting on it for a while. So what I'm gonna do is just underblock a little bit. I'm gonna get pummeled so it doesn't, I'm gonna lose this Nourishing Emptiness, which would be really nice to hit him with next turn. but it's just not going to happen. Anytime you do get to get off a nourishing emptiness and you have like a freezing point in Arsenal and Tunic coming up, you're like pretty much setting yourself up for a massive freezing point. But I do get to just Winter's Bite him here, take him down to a 3-card hand. I'm feeling pretty good about this game. He has no crown. I'm only at 16. He's at 28. And he hits me with an E-strike for 7, at which point, don't know what I do here, but I probably should just block 3 or take all of this. And, okay, so I'm going to pause it for 1 second. I do take all of that damage, which could be a misplay, could not be. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pitch this, or I'm sorry, I'm going to use Tunic here to pay for the blue Weather Vane. And you would be thinking, okay, I have 2 hexes on him. A freezing point and a blue Weather Vane would be 9 damage, but he does have the ability to break those frostbites, and I would only get 7 damage from him. But I think that I can get away with stripping a couple more cards from his hand using the red the red Ice Vane. But either one of these plays would be pretty good to block out. I could have blocked 3 with the red Ice Vane and played the which even if he did break the frostbites with Tunic, it still would have been 7 damage. But I elect to strip a couple more cards from his hand because I do have 3 charges on my chill, and so yeah, that's what I do elect to do. Play the blue Weather Vane. Use my Tunic counter to play this red Ice Vane, fuse it with the Frost Hex, and keep the Frost Hex around and try to get a 3rd hex on him. No, I pitch away the Frost Hex. I guess I do only need 2 Frost Hexes in this matchup. He's at 28 life, so I'm really not feeling like I need the 3rd one. Having 2 on him is really nice, but that could be a misplay. I could have, put that 3rd Frost Hex in Arsenal, blocked out a little bit last turn, and hit him with a freezing point for 9, which probably would have been more damage in the long run because I would have a Hex in Arsenal here and I would have drawn into some blues. But I do get a little punished here because I don't have a fuse card, which is kind of a bummer. I do have a red Weather Vane, which is what I was saving this. But I elect to play out the Ice Eternal for 6, strip a card from his hand with Insidious Chill, and then I get to go into this next turn probably just taking a Hammer Swing, and I have a red Weather Vane. I have a freezing point in Arsenal. I'm going to take 4 from his hammer. I do have a fuse card, and I do have I have a really great hand here to really punish him. This is where I think I pretty much win the game, so I did get rewarded for holding out and playing it like that. Yep, and I think for a minute on whether I want the blue Weather Vane in Arsenal or the Frosting in Arsenal, and I think I elect to put the Frosting in Arsenal, but either one would have been really good. He has no ability unless he's running Sigil of Solace to break these frostbites, so he is going to take a nice hefty 11 here, which he takes most of it. And yeah, I could have ended the game right then and there if I would have put the blue Weather Vane in Arsenal, which I'm going to pause this. I've preached this quite a few times, putting that blue Weather Vane in Arsenal, because I do draw into my last freezing point. So I could have played the blue Weather Vane by pitching the yellow Weather Vane here. I would have had 1 resource left over, and then I could have freezing pointed him for, let's see, that would have been, he's got 4 frostbites, 5, 6 on the hexes, 7, 8, 9. So I could have freezing pointed him for 14 here, but I think I can still win the game anyways. But that would have been really nice to be able to freezing point him for 14 there. So I've talked about this before, how putting, especially when your opponent is at such a low life total and you have hexes on him and already have frostbites on him, if you could possibly top deck another freezing point or even any red spell, putting that blue weather vane in arsenal, it just pays off in so much dividends that it would have won me the game right out here. But I think I can still win anyways. So play the frosting. And I think he breaks the frostbites. Nope, he can't break them. But I can still freezing point him for the rest of the damage and win here. So it really didn't matter. I think it takes him down to 1, and he's going to die from the frostbites anyways. But yeah, it really didn't matter. But if he was at a higher life total, I guess putting that blue weather vane in the arsenal would have been a much better option. Either way, it works. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully that helped you guys with the Oldhim matchup a little bit. It can be pretty tough, but as you can see, as long as you can get rid of Crown like pretty early, Oldhim is kind of a dead deck without Crown. Especially if he's running Titan's Fist and he's running this Stalagmite. I didn't give him any opportunity to use Stalagmite, so that was just an absolute dead card. He could have easily been running Sledge, but you get rid of Crown and he is only left with AB2. There isn't a whole lot he can do. He didn't see. I don't know if he was running. I'm not sure if he was running the Warhorn, but it didn't look like it. At first, it looked like he was going to try to fatigue me, but that just didn't work. The only things he really hit me with was like a choke slam and a couple endless winters. So as you can see, without Crown, this deck just kind of falls apart. So getting rid of Crown is massively important, and that is why I run 3 expose the elements, because getting rid of Crown as soon as possible will definitely set you up to be able to win this game a lot easier. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully that helped. Peace out, Wizards.